Hey guys, what is going on? It is Minituff, and after learning about the Ubuntu Edge, this is what you're going to want to do to your current phone.
I remember they would say it's all okay, you'll be alright. Every night I could hear it, I remember. I could hear it in the wind, that melody that they would play every single day to remind us it was over. And it went
What? Oh, sorry. So if you don't already know, the Ubuntu Edge is going to be a beast. And if you don't know yet, then just keep watching. But I actually did a previous video of mine, which was the top 5 upcoming phones of 2013 and 2014. And the Ubuntu Edge was so good that I decided to put it as a number 0 spot, making all of the other phones look kind of like toys. They are just nothing compared to this phone, if it is coming out, and I will have more on that later. So let's go ahead and get into why I think this phone is going to be a beast. So one thing that you really need to know about the Ubuntu Edge is there's a chance that this phone may not even see the light of day. The way this phone is going to be released is it's going to come out through an IndieGogo project. Canonical is trying to raise $32 million within 30 days, and if that goal is met, then this phone will be released to the masses. If not, who cares? It's gone. This phone will never exist. So it's important that this phone makes it to its $32 million goal, or everything I'm talking about right now is pretty much nothing. It's useless. So currently, the IndieGogo project, as of today, July 31st, has $7,609,379 raised toward their goal. And they're going to have to really hope that they make it, because they only have 21 days left, and they pretty much have to raise $1.1 million per day to make it to their goal. So let's hope that this can happen, because this phone's going to be awesome. So let's go ahead and go over it right about now. You've been waiting. You're like, what is this thing? You're talking about how good it is and how it's crowdfunded. Now tell me, what is this device? So let's go ahead and take a look at what Canonical is actually trying to market this phone for. It's not a phone for everyone. They're targeting this phone towards enthusiasts, the people who want the best of the best and don't care how much they want to pay for it. This is not a flagship phone that's going to go out to everyone. It's not like the iPhone or the Galaxy S4 or the HTC One that's pretty much meant for every person. This is only for the tech geeks who have, pretty good pockets that can support buying this device, because right now the price is $775, and that's only going to increase the further you get into this IndieGogo project. So right now it's kind of expensive, but for what you're getting, and I'm going to talk about it, is awesome. So let's go ahead and go over the specs. This is the best part about this phone, because they are pulling out all the stops to make this thing a beast. First, let's talk about the display. So Canonical believes that having a good color accurate display is better than having just more and more pixels. So they're opting for a 720p display, which for me, I really would have wanted 1080p, but 720p is okay because the screen size is going to be 4.5 inches. So my phone right here is 4.3 inches, so if you can, kind of get an idea that it's not that much bigger. And my phone here is 960 by 640, so it'll be even higher resolution than this, and that's pretty good. They think that if you have a screen over 300 ppi, you won't be able to notice the pixels, which, depending on who you're talking to, will give you a different answer. But I can tell you this, that the iPhone 5 has a pixel density of 323 pixels per inch. And can you see pixels on that? Not really. So as long as this thing's around that area, over 300 ppi, it'll look pretty good. And it's going to have some great color accuracy. Again, 4.5 inches on the screen, that's not that big. 4.3 inches is kind of considered small. The HTC One Mini is 4.3 inches, and that's the size of this thing. So why are they going for 4.5? They think that is the best screen size that you can get when you can still reach the phone with your entire hand and grab the entire display. And I kind of give them credit for that. I would have preferred maybe like a 5-inch screen at 1080p over a 4.3 or 4.5 inch 720p display. So instead of using Gorilla Glass or glass on top of the screen, they're going to do pure sapphire crystal, which is really, really hard to scratch. Unless you have diamonds in your pocket, you will not scratch this phone. That doesn't mean it's indestructible. That means you throw your phone and it's still going to crack. But scratching will be non-existent because on the hardness scale, I think it's like a 9 and diamonds are like a 10. So the only thing that can scratch something lower is something higher. So only a 10 can scratch a 9, not vice versa. So anything lower than a 9 cannot scratch this display. So whoa, that's awesome. And I don't know how they're even doing that. I hope that other phone manufacturers use this sapphire crystal stuff because it sounds awesome. I just hope that it's going to not be super expensive and drag the price up even more if it comes out. So now for the really good stuff. When I tell you this, and when you see this slide come up on your screen, you're going to want to buy this phone instantaneously. It's going to have, they claim, the fastest mobile processor available at the time. So coming up, whenever this phone's coming up, it will have the fastest mobile processor at the time, which I think right now is the Snapdragon 800. The Tegra 4 is definitely up there, but I don't know which one. They're kind of neck and neck right now. 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's as much as my friend's MacBook with a Core i7 that costs like $1,700. 4 gigabytes of RAM! And a 128, yes, you heard me right, 128 gigabyte of storage. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you know how much I've wanted that much storage on my phone? Because 16 gigabytes for me is not enough. You can't put apps on your SD card on Android. And having that much storage would be amazing. And you need that much storage for what else is coming up on this device. It's going to be running Android and Ubuntu. So while it's in your pocket, it's a phone running Android. But then you can go dock it on your computer, plug in use like a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, and it runs full desktop Ubuntu, which is great. And if you don't know what Ubuntu is, it's Linux. It's just another version of Linux. So it's not Mac, it's not PC, it's not Chrome OS, it's Linux, Ubuntu. So it's giving you a full desktop environment on your phone. And you can plug that thing in, use it as a monitor, and oh my gosh. Now I'm sure you're saying, shut up and take my money. But one thing that you need to keep in mind is this phone is only going to be coming out to people who support the IndieGogo project. And at this point, you can't donate some small amount of money and expect to get the phone. On their website, you have to donate over $725 in order to get this device. So unless you support this phone, you won't be able to get it anywhere else. They're not. And if you want to buy it on eBay from some guy who did this, I'm sure it will be super expensive. So if you want the device, you have to support the IndieGogo project. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem in the near future, because when this thing comes out and people have it, people are going to want it and they're going to go crazy over it. Hey dude, what phone is that? Oh yes, it's called the Ubuntu phone. Awesome, how can I get one of those? Unfortunately, the Ubuntu phone is only for those who supported the IndieGogo project. Oh, poopy. Ugh. So, another thing that Canonical is doing is they're calling this term convergence. And what it is it pretty much talks with Android and Ubuntu at the same time. So, pretty much the operating systems are intertwined. So, if you go on your desktop Ubuntu and you search through your contacts, it will show up the contacts that are on your Android phone. Or if you want to make a call on your Ubuntu desktop, it'll use the calling a feature of your Android phone and call through that. Or if you're searching the Mail app on Ubuntu, then it will actually go through your Gmail app on Android and search through that. So they're trying to intertwine everything so you don't have to keep jumping between the two. You can have all of your stuff in one, Android or Ubuntu, and they will link together, and it will take up a lot less space. It'll be a lot cooler. I think this is a great idea. So continuing on with the specs of this phone, it's going to have a 8 megapixel rear facing camera and a 2 megapixel front facing camera. And you may be thinking, for such a beast of a phone, why an 8 megapixel camera? Well, Canonical doesn't really believe in the megapixel race. They don't want to go up and say, hey, my phone has a 41 megapixel camera, it's so much better than this. Hint, hint. You know what I'm talking about if you do. So they're trying to go for, image quality and color accuracy over the megapixel count. Sort of the same thing than what they were doing with their display. They want to go for a better color accurate display rather than more pixels on their display. Same thing with the camera. They want a very good camera, not just with high megapixels, but with a high, very good density of color and accuracy and, depth and all this kind of good stuff, rather than just more megapixels. So I'm sure they're going to get some fancy people who know what they're doing to come in and go look at this lens. It's all about the lenses and the sensor and everything rather than just the megapixel count. So that will be coupled with a 2 megapixel front facing camera for Google Hangouts and talks like that, or selfies. No selfies. They'll also have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack like every phone does. If this doesn't have that, then what is it? You need that 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So they'll have that. Another really weird thing this Ubuntu Edge is going to have a silicone anode lithium-ion battery. I've never heard of this before, so I can't tell you what it is. I looked up the difference online. I couldn't find anything. It looks like this type of battery is not very common or has ever been used in a phone before. So I'm hoping that this is like really awesome and it brings a lot better battery life and it allows them to have a smaller battery with more capacity inside of it. So I'm hoping that we can get easily a full day, because I think any smartphone, and no matter what it is, should be able to get you a full day of heavy use through a charge. That's all I need. I can charge it every night. I don't need 2 weekends or something. I just need 1 full day of very heavy use, and I'm good. So hopefully this battery can do that. Another thing this is going to have is dual LTE chips. And this is for if you're going internationally, if you travel a lot, if you're in another country, you can still get LTE. Because as far as I believe, I've never traveled outside of the country before. I need to. I really do. Too poor for that. But to do that, we got to, you have to go on a different wireless carrier there, you're roaming, and I think that you can't get 4G while you're doing that, or LTE. So I think with this dual LTE chip, you'll be able to get LTE if you're in another country. It's going to have 802.11n, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4, and NFC. So all the good stuff. NFC is awesome. So all that kind of good stuff will be inside of this phone. As for the sensors that are inside of this, some of them are crazy. We've got GPS, accelerometer, gyro, proximity sensor, compass, and barometer. So all the essentials, right? Gotta use that barometer. It'll have stereo speakers with HD audio, dual mic recording, and active noise cancellation. All this stuff my phone doesn't have. Great. So the webpage made sure to say these specifications are due to change. So, whether they make like $500 million off this project, they could put more money into research, or, whether or not something is changed, they can still go ahead and opt in to make something different on side of this phone. So this might not be the full spec sheet that is, going to be released, but just keep in mind that is what we are looking at now. So guys, I think it wraps it up for this video. If you want to go ahead and go to the IndieGogo page, I will have a link down there under the like button below, which you should already have clicked by now. If you haven't, why? Boom, click that. So one thing I need to point out, in order to actually get the Ubuntu Edge, you have to donate or fund this IndieGogo project, and right now the minimum is $725. There's a certain amount of units that sell for that much money. After they sell out, they increase the price to $775 and so on. So the sooner you donate, the sooner you get it, and they will not take your money unless they get to their $32 million goal. So if you go ahead and give them $500, they're not going to receive your money until they reach their $32 million goal. If they don't reach that goal, no money is taken, the Ubuntu Edge dies. So, kind of sucks, but let's get him to that goal. I really want to see this phone. I want to change the phone market. I want this to be a thing. So guys, that wraps it up for this video, and I really did hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Peace out, guys. Bye.